You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. I'm your host, Brandy Williams. How in the heavens are y'all doing? How was the eclipse? This one for me felt a little more insightful than the Pisces lunar eclipse on September 7th. So I wonder how it was for y'all. I want somebody to reach out to me and tell me how it went. We are entering into a very dynamic and intense week. A lot of emotions could come up this week. Today is Libra season. Happy birthday to all the Libras. We're going to go ahead and get right into the astrological vibes for the week ahead because it's a little bit to talk about. So, today, Monday, September 22nd, we are still riding this eclipse energy. The moon starts off at 29 degrees of Virgo. So the 29th degree is the final testing degree of a sign. It's kind of like, let's see what you have accomplished in Virgo season. Are you ready to go to the next level and do something about it in Libra season? So the moon is still in an exact opposition to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Monday morning, we could feel, first off, the urge to step back into some type of routine. This could be a health routine. We could feel like we need to declutter something. Perhaps we could still feel a little self critical about something. With this opposition to Saturn, things could still feel blocked. We could feel like there are just a lot of obstacles or hiccups or a race against time. Like there's not enough time to do all the things that I need to do. And I'm always so tired, which can make us feel very irritated, anxious. We could feel like not wanting to engage with people, which is so real. It's to be expected. We just had an eclipse yesterday, and Virgo Pisces axis is heavy. So make no mistake about it. We are definitely deep in that eclipse energy. We're going to be feeling that for about 6 months. We're going to see things unfolding and seeds planted, popping up, but also some exciting new insights could have taken place for us as well. And then also this morning, we had Mars enter Scorpio, which is just right on time. I really love how the astrology seems to collaborate. We have this aha moment. We got Mars moving into Scorpio from the sign of Libra. So, a little bit about this ingress. Mars rules two signs in the zodiac, and that is Aries and Scorpio. Scorpio is the feminine water sign of Mars. This is where Mars can be very determined and focused. This is a Mars that likes to execute with precision. Mars in Scorpio is very unrelenting. This is a very unyielding energy when it wants something. So Mars in Scorpio is, of course, quite different from Mars in Libra because Mars in Libra is concerned about the group and how is my desires going to be accepted by others. Can I make this choice? Can I cut this part out? How are my actions affecting others? Mars Scorpio don't give a shit about none of that. I'm not saying that Mars and Scorpio doesn't care, but when Mars and Scorpio has a intuitive nudge to do something, it will lock in and it will get something done, not in a rushed or hurried way, kind of like Mars and Aries would do, but Mars and Scorpio will definitely dive deep to pursue something that it wants. So when we enter a Mars in Scorpio transit, you too can be locked in with tunnel vision. So this is a great energy to study a new subject. Perhaps there is something that is piquing our interest. This could be something from the occult, this some type of spiritual subject. This could be a deep dive into a new project. And if you've been listening to me for a while, and if you've received a reading from me or you received a year ahead project from me last year, I told a lot of people that there was going to be a spiritual pivot, especially when Neptune and Saturn entered Aries in May. Something was going to change. This could be us having a nudge to take up some type of spiritual, research or topic. We could be really locked into something, but we just want to make sure that we're locked into the right things because Mars and Scorpio can have us down rabbit holes. We could be losing sleep trying to get to the bottom of something, conspiracy theories, jealous rampages, stalking type behavior, online stalking, going through people's phones, being very obsessive, and holding on to things that need not be holding on to. So, there are some things that were revealed to us during these eclipse times. And some of us still could feel attached to some of these things. It might be time to stop and let something go. It's time to focus on the new calling. Don't allow things to take you out of focus. Focus on something that's going to add some value to your life and that's going to be really beneficial to you. Also, later on today, we have the sun officially moving into the sign of Libra. That happened at 1:19 p.m. This is initiating the fall equinox. Oh my goodness, it's fall. So, happy birthday once again, Libra. Shout out to my favorite Libra, my husband. Happy birthday, babe. So, during Libra season, we become focused and concerned with matters of balance and being in harmony. We could notice where we have been over investing in one part of life and neglecting another part. Themes of law and justice can come into play, advocating for people who can't advocate for themselves, and more opportunities to connect or partner. Networking, we are very concerned with collaborating. If we are single, we could be looking for a boo, could be trying to get booed up. It's cuffing season, and we might just need a little something to snuggle up to, or we could be looking for a dog, like the one that's barking in the background. Y'all could come get her. Okay, so big theme of partnerships and collaborations coming into balance. Now, of course, every sign has a shadow side. So the shadow side of this Sun and Libra ingress could be the tendency to be a little too concerned with others, comparison, or concerned about what other people think about us and the decisions that we make. um we can find ourselves people pleasing to avoid conflict, saying yes when our nervous systems are screaming for us to say hell no, which can lead to resentment and then eventually a full-fledged crash out, or we could be exploding on someone. So over the next few weeks, we want to notice what feels out of balance. Where have we been compromising, giving the most and taking the lesser? And if you know a healthy Libra, tell a healthy Libra happy birthday. Appreciate them. They're very considerate. They're always thinking about somebody else. And if you are a Libra, sun, moon, or rising, please start giving yourself the most, not the lesser. Downplaying your needs for others is not balance, and that ain't good for nobody because we need you to be okay too. Okay, I love y'all. So, Tuesday, September 23rd, the Sun in Libra is going to oppose Neptune retrograde in Aries. So, the Sun in astrology can represent our sense of self and vitality, goals and ambitions, our life's purpose, fathers and authority figures and public figures, out on the world stage. So, being opposed to Neptune, which is the planet of the collective love, dissolve, illusions, delusions, dreams, the spiritual realm, one of the first things that I think of with this transit is a lack of energy. We could start the week kind of feeling lethargic, kind of feeling a little out of it, a little spacey. The sun opposite Neptune retrograde can have us feeling lost or confused about what we're doing in the world because Neptune is in retrograde, dissolving what we thought was our life purpose. What we have been conditioned to believe was success. It's not looking like it's the path for us. Some of us are being privy to a path that is spiritual. Some of us are in spaces that are corporate, and we a whole healer, evangelist, prophet. You're a healer. You are a healer, girl. You're a healer, sir. Okay. So the things that we're doing in the world right now could feel confusing because we are starting to realize that this is not the way. Something is not meeting my expectations. Something is not panning out the way I like. It's not working. I'm trying so hard. I'm working so hard. It's not working because it's not meant to work. This could also be facades dissolving in partnerships and friendships, contractual agreements that are not what they were supposed to be. We can see deceit and lies. Relationships are starting to feel foggy and really question mark. We just kind of feel like we don't gel with certain people anymore. It's almost like there's a disconnect. This could also be us over idolizing a person, a celebrity, authority figure, really having a lot of faith and trust in somebody, and they let us down and they fell short of the pedestal we put them on because no human is supposed to be on a pedestal because all humans will let you down because humans are not perfect. And we thought somebody was perfect. And this could be our pastor, our father, our other parent, our uncle, our grandfather, the president, the prime minister, the king, Martin Luther King, not Martin Luther King. But there is this sense of it's not what I thought it was. This is not the person I thought it, this person let me down. That could be another aspect of this transit. And in like the most extreme, we could see, the transition or the death of a solar figure, a father figure, a patriarch, a king, a public leader, things like that. Not always, but sometimes we do see that with the sun opposing Neptune. And then later on Tuesday, September 3rd, the sun in Libra is going to trine Uranus retrograde in Gemini. And you don't have to look for the spiritual calling. I guarantee you, I don't guarantee you, because I can't guarantee nothing in astrology, but I could kind of guess that if you're still listening, the spiritual side is calling you. The spiritual calling is coming to you. It's dropping all in your system. You're seeing all kind of signs. The synchronicities is just like pop, 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 right? This could be a sudden shakeup of energy, more shocking news, something happening, in of course politics, something happening with technology and currency, like money. This could be something in the employment industry. There could be layoffs and things like that because Uranus is going to shake people out of certain situations that is very destabilizing and scary. And it's like, this is not good news at all. This is horrible. But if the cosmos don't shake you out of a spot, a lot of us won't move. We won't pivot. And there is a pivot that is trying to happen for a lot of us. And this could also be sudden realizations. Uranus brings clarity and creative downloads and crazy cool opportunities that are eccentric and exciting. This is collaborations with eccentric people. Maybe you went to some kind of like fair and you're like, man, these people are really cool. I never thought I'd be hanging with people like this in this part of town, but I think I found my tribe. That's kind of like a sun Uranus transit. It is some type of unexpected unfolding that's leading us to a different realization and a possible pivot in our life's purpose. And also, this could just be a double shot of espresso and you feel good and woke by the middle of Tuesday. But still, look out for the synchronicities and those signs because they are coming and, they're all around. So, yeah. Wednesday, September 24th, we're going to start off with the sun trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So we are in this triangle of energy with the air signs of Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And the sun trine Pluto is a powerful realization of what is transforming in your life purpose, your life calling. There is a pivot. For a lot of us, there's a pivot, or there's an add on, or there is a cosmic makeover in our business. There's a rebranding. The sun trine Pluto can bring us into what it really looks like to walk our authentic path, our true path. We could really see what that's looking like for us after these eclipses. And this could also be deep conversations and breakthroughs with therapists or the groups or communities that you're in. This is a double down to study a new subject. Maybe you are interested in astrology, human design, spirituality. Maybe you're reconnecting with your faith in a new way with a new set of eyes. This could be something to do with law or politics or social justice that you want to really bring into your life. And this is a call that's been happening and transforming and unfolding for you. This is something about your life path that is going through a rebirth. This could also be scandals, lies, secrets, hidden money in a situation that's connected to some type of party you're affiliated with, a group, a person individually, one on one. Things coming to light, political, legal leaks, some tea, but technological breakthroughs. This is a great transit for making impressions. If you are going to a networking situation or some type of collaboration, this is very good for the new business path this week. And then on the same day, Mars and Scorpio is squaring Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. This is our own personal will being ready to walk through a door. This is a transit that gives us the audacity and the gall to sever ties with anything or anyone who asks us to hide a part of ourselves. This is us stepping into our true authenticity. This is giving us the courage to walk in our calling. Some of us are walking away from old traditions and old structures. And people or institutions that try to tell us what success looks like, what our beauty is supposed to look like, what our bodies are supposed to look like, what our God is supposed to look like, what the good life is supposed to look like. We are no longer assimilating to a particular type of group think unless it comes with freedom. We are finding our tribes and we're walking away from communities who have portrayed themselves as perfection and have always fell short, from organizations who try to put us in a box, from traditions that try to keep us disconnected from our ordained divine essence. We are walking away from what people try to subscribe us to be and how this life and society has conditioned us to be. Everything that God created you to be is calling you. And it could look nothing like you've ever imagined or anything that you're enrolled in right now. And that shit can feel hard and it can feel very scary. And it can activate a fear of survival inside of you. And it could put you into a fight or flight that makes you want to protect yourself and to cling to some type of control. But there's a calling that is no longer deniable to us. And there are people who are not going to like that calling when you answer it, if you so choose to answer it. And some people who don't like the new you are going to attempt to throw everything at you that used to work to get you back in order, to get you back in line. And it might work for a little while, but ruling from a place of fear is never sustainable. The people will eventually rise up, the people will eventually fight back. They will always fight the oppressor back. And that's what we're seeing happening. And that's what we will continue to see happen. Mars is a trigger of our self assertion. It is our instinct to fight and to protect ourselves and to protect others. Mars also represents the military. It also represents weapons. It is a trigger. It cuts. It's words that cut. Pluto is an activation of fear and the response to fear, the response to the abuse of power. It is how we rise up to fight back. It's the collective. So, personally, on the world stage with this transit, we could see standoffs, military forming against the people and the people fighting back. In our personal lives, this could be a power struggle. This could be someone refusing to back down that wouldn't usually put up such a fight. We could feel pushed to defend ourselves from someone, whether it's physically, emotionally, economically. Perhaps we are speaking out about something and we usually don't even do that. We don't get on the ground and march, but perhaps something happens and we're saying, you know what, I'm gonna be outside, you know. But we want to be careful because this transit is a very volatile, explosive transit. It literally could mean explosions. It literally could mean volcanic eruptions. It could be like a lot of stuff. It could even just be like you at war with yourself. Like there's a part of me, especially with Libra, trying to decide, right? When Libra season is a part of me that's like, I hear the call. I know I'm supposed to go that way, but I got a lot of people riding on me and I just can't make that call because there is no assurance down that path. And that to me feels like an attack on my personal safety and security, which is why it's so good to get a reading. It's so beneficial to get a reading to see how these energies are playing in your life. Personally, this transit is hitting me in an extreme way. So there may be a lot going on this week. Take what resonates and leave the rest. If you like, girl, I'm on my path and I love it. You are doing your service. Sometimes service and spiritual calling is in the corporate world. We need the CPAs and the bankers, okay? If this ain't for you, it ain't for you. But if it feel a little raw, why? Question the triggers. Use the information and the shadow energy as data. Is there a call? Are you willing to answer it? Maybe you can just peek out the window and see what it's about. If fear shows up, if you are activated, somebody tries to call you out, take a full deep breath so you can tap into the logical brain. Even if it's a scary situation that you need to act quickly, when you take a full deep breath, you're able to access the logical brain. You got to get some oxygen in there. Move the energy around. This Mars energy is powerful and potent. You may feel energy start to surge in your body. You want to do a little, little boxing. You might want to pick up the weights, maybe play around with the kids and stuff, or do something very productive, get into a project, or maybe you can decorate for the fall or something productive, something active. And that is the week. So, guys, there is no major transits happening next week. I guess this is the cosmos way of saying, like, I just dropped something heavy on y'all. Two back-to-back eclipses. Perhaps we just sit the next week out and digest some things. Maybe tap into some of this new knowledge that's been calling us. But if you need me, I'm here. I'll be back next Monday. Maybe I'll have a special topic to talk about. Maybe I'll talk about some minor transits that's happening to add on to the story for this week. We never know. But if you need someone to talk to, just get at me. Get at me. I'm going to leave my email in the show notes. If you are feeling like I need to know more, book a reading. I can't even tell you all the things that these transits can mean. They can mean so much. They can mean something totally specific to your situation. Book a reading. I'm going to leave my booking information in the show notes. I'm about to dive into the research of the astrology for 2026. And I'm going to definitely be advertising for those year aheads. You do not want to miss out on a year ahead reading. It's very life changing. So, yeah, I love y'all. And I will talk to you next week. Bye. You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast.